Hello and good evening then to the qualifying session for tomorrow's fourth round of the Craftsman Cup Series, coming to you at Atlanta Motor Speedway, this 1.54 mile track, and the cars are getting ready for some 15 minutes of qualifying for your entertainment. Out comes the winner of last week, Levi McIntyre, who won at Las Vegas a week ago. There he is. He's got a different coloured car for Jimmy Dunleavy, driving number 90. And Levi, making his debut in the championship, is doing extremely well. Comes into this race fourth in the championship. Now, also as well, we've got some gorgeous camera angles there and all that, but we'll go to this camera angle here. We did discuss about this yet again, and we are using the restrictor plates for this track. They didn't do any testing. They just thought it was a good idea just to race with the restrictor plates on here as well. Well, since the actual NASCARs use a restrictor plate, so maybe the CCS cars will also use a restrictor plate too. So Levi is going to be the first to cross the line. You can see they're just reaching speeds of 177 miles an hour. We don't want to see cars going about 250 miles an hour. We're not like tow car and losing all their drivers. We want to keep them healthy and alive. As Levi goes first with a 30.555. That's no stab at tow car. I'm just been enjoying watching their racing. Anyway, Diego Ospina. Diego Ospina fell out of the top 10 a week ago. Now goes into this race 13th in the championship. Jamie Smith, he was the only car to retire from Las Vegas. Nathan Ormond, joint championship leader in 2 occasions, had a bad outing a week ago at Las Vegas. Hopefully to redeem that and try and get back into the top spot. Followed behind is out goes Charles Stanford, different paint scheme, as there is the 2 Joe Gibbs teammates going at it already in qualifying. Noah Hart and Richard Johnson. Noah Hart trying to gain respect back from drivers from getting involved in a couple of incidents, or basically got taken out by a couple of folk. One by Stefan Papiers, and I forgot what was the first one. And just ahead of them is your championship leader, Danny Wells, coming into this race. More cars heading out on the track. We're Matt McLean, there he is in the number 8. There's Wes McCall. Very rare driver for a guy to come into a race and then still end up in that same position after the race. Car 14 comes into this race, position 14. Quite freaky if he starts 14th on the grid here tonight. In goes Levi, he's going to put some new tyres on there. Currently second fastest, Cole Diva. Reverse livery for that machine. This is actually the Busch Series car that they're actually taken out on here. And he'll be getting a good draft off of James Qualls, who's currently 8th fastest. And yeah, Cole Diva currently sitting on the outside pole position. Matt McIntyre had a bit of a disastrous Las Vegas. He was set for a good finish and went into the pits late on in the race and really hampered the chances of a very good finish. But he's so far in 38th position. He will go quicker, 30.043, puts him in 24th. Carson Gum, he's having some steady, he's having a slow rise in the point standards. He's 15th in this race. Coming into this race, he is. So far, he is 14th at the moment. Matt McLean down to 40th, but he's doing his first lap. Here's a nice gaggle of cars here. Charles Sanford. Trent Dunham, who's just popped himself into the top 10 after last week at Las Vegas. Andy McCrory, who started well at Las Vegas, but faded towards the end. And as a result of that, he actually fell down 8 places. And so far, with that time, is currently the fastest man out there. 29.514. Stefan Papies is on the outside pole, and he was one of the big losers at Las Vegas. And a week ago, I think Trent Dunham might be going into the pits, I think. Yep, indeed he does. Yeah, Papies, we're just touching up there on Stefan, as he's down to 3rd place now. Yeah, Stefan lost 14 spots in the championship. He came into that race in 9th. And there's another guy that's having a real up and down time in the point standings. This guy here, Brandon Tedesco. First race, he didn't do that well at Daytona, but then gained a heck of a lot of places in Auto Club 2 weeks ago when he finished. I think it was inside the top 5. I think it was like 2nd or something. And he came into that race, and he gets into Chris Summers, and yet again, more bad luck for Chris Summers. Careful, drivers. And Trek Torger just collected the 36, not the 36. I'm trying to get to Trek Torger, and his car is stopped there. He was currently holding the 8th fastest time, and he's going to have to tour into the pit lane. But again, Chris Summers, what can Chris can't do? Chris can't do anything. He just can't. He's going to have to go into the pits. He's so far in 9th place at the moment, but he just can't do anything. There's just no luck in him whatsoever. Smoke Rice. There's your current pole setter, Michael Norton, who had a great outing at Las Vegas, finishing, I believe it was in the top 5. And he is currently the fastest man for 29.505. Ahead of him, Kyle Matthews, who is 25th. Jessica Shelton is 19th. Cody Lammers is in 5th place. It's not really been a great start, though, for Cody, other than the positive of starting in the pole for the 500. But it's just been a very much downward spiral for the 33 car. Nico Ketchum, he comes into this race 2nd last in the points. He's 18th at the moment, 29.626. Seth Cole is 27th as Daniel Voiles heads out onto the track. And Dylan Young is 40th fastest for him. Oh, God, that's going to be a little bit of hair-raising stuff there as Seth Cole actually makes his way into the pits. As the smoke is finally settled, as we are pretty much nearly down to halfway through this qualifying session. Out goes Tedesco. Now, just I was saying about Tedesco, yeah, he's had a bit of a yo-yo time in the championship. Like I said, he finished poorly in Daytona, didn't do too good in the points there. Then a 2nd place finish at Auto Club, put him up into the top 10, and then a bad finish at Las Vegas, and he's down to 26th now. That's what I was trying to say. RJ Bishop, 29th. Zachary Fitzwater, who was the points leader after Auto Club and had a bad finish at Las Vegas, he's down in 33rd spot. Chris Summers, though, still in the pit lane, trying to repair some of that damage there. Oh, and we've got some battles going on here. There is the 6 of Nathan Hudson. And car 6 is position 6. And there is the 2nd place driver in the points, Christian Martin. And he is 3rd fastest at the minute with a 29.527. So I'm just trying to think, is still Anthony McCurdy got the fastest time? No, he doesn't, of course, because Michael Norman's got the pole, hasn't he? My bad. A lot of drivers in the same positions at the moment. Here is Daniel Voiles in the 36, and he's currently 36th. Best time of a 29.751 then for the Pontiac driver. Let's see if Michael Norman still has the fastest time. Yes, he does. Jessica Shelton, has she improved? Yes, she has. She's up to 15th. Trent Torger then back out onto the track. Don't go right in front of... Jeez, oh. I thought they were going to compromise Nathan Norman and Kyle, especially Kyle Matthews. Look at the way he's running up on the track there. Kyle's still 25th. And Nathan Ormond is still 37th. As now the 2 drivers that were involved in the accident are actually side by side. Out goes Seth Cole for another run. Coming down then, well, we just went down to 6 minutes ago. Dylan Poteet, 7th fastest then for Dylan. He's driving the blue and white Pontiac. Again, this is another Busch Series car. Joshua Collard there behind. Joshua's had a pretty tough start of the season. He is 40th in the points. Started well at Las Vegas and then just fell towards the end of the race, unfortunately. Hoping to rectify those problems that he's had in those first 3 races and hopefully to get a strong result here. But so far, starting on the outside row on 19 ain't going to help whatsoever. And just behind him will be Richard Johnson. Stephen Colon, the rookie, comes into this race in the top 10. He's 23rd fastest. There is the points leader, Danny Wells. Danny Wells is 28th at the moment. Jamie Smith in 40th. Noah Hart in 25th. Wes McCall 36th. Cole Diva 21st. Matt McIntyre. Oh, we'll just look at Nico Ketchum, who is in 20th position at the moment. So Matt McIntyre is 15th. Carson Gum is 32nd. And a couple of drivers that we haven't seen yet so far. There they are, Brandon Ross and Jeremy Tacos. Brandon Ross is 30th. And Levi McIntyre, the winner from last week, is the slowest man on the track. Jeremy Tacos, though, 18th. Sam Oskin, 16th fastest for him. Jesse Turner, who had a strong outing, finishing in the top 10. He's 24th. Noah Cars is 19th. And Nick Gunther, 14th. Coming down then on 4 minutes to go. Cody Lamas now. We see Cody Lamas up in P5. Sorry, I apologise there for that. A little bit high pitch there. But Cody is still 5th fastest. Ethan Ormond alongside him. And Ormond has improved to 12th position. And looks like he's going to get some help from Daniel Voiles, who is sitting in 11th place. Doesn't improve on his lap time though. Shelton then 17th. Chris Summers in 9th place. The guy that's just had no luck in the 3 races and until now when he got caught up in that accident by the 2 cars that are behind. Still, Michael Norman with the fastest time. Now, we did see Kyle Matthews went 25th. He's down to 28th now. So, still drivers then improving. Ry Hayden. We haven't talked about Ry Hayden. There he is. 35th fastest for him. 3 minutes to go until the end of the qualifying session. Ry Hayden, another race, another paint scheme for that team. This time it is the Rotos Ford that he's driving. Out comes Danny Wells. He's going to fit in with the 22, the 1 and the 75. Oh, now Paul Teats and Trent Dunham get together. That could have been a big moment there. That could have been a scary moment. Jimmy Smith has improved now to 25th place. Let's see if Joshua Collard has improved. Nope, 39th for him. But starting that back at the grid, though, might be an actual good thing because you see what happened to Kyle Matthews at Las Vegas, what was it, about a week ago? He started pretty deep in the field, didn't he? Yeah, he started at about 35th place and ended up, well, he was flirting around the top 10 for the majority, especially for the second half of the race. And then he kind of fell down to finish in a creditable 14th place. But there's still a great drive, whatsoever. Anyway, 90 seconds to go until the end of qualifying. And there is Charles Sanford, the Daytona 500 winner. He's just coming out then to do possibly 2 laps and try and get a draft. He is so far starting on the outside row 17. Now let's see if Levi McIntyre has improved. No, he hasn't. Well, he has, but it's still slow to be 42nd. And he's side by side with Nico Ketchum, as we've got less than a minute to go now. Will he improve this time? And the answer is no, slower by about nearly 700ths of a second. Just ahead of him, James Qualls. Unlucky for him, he's 13th at the moment. Could all change though within the last 30 seconds. That says Matt McLean, fresh off the top 10 at Vegas. Best result of the season so far then for the Budweiser driver. And he will try and go in the middle there. Still slower by a 10, but not improved on his 38th. Nathan Hudson is still 6th quickest. Stefan Papiez is 4th quickest. Christian Martin is 3rd quickest, as we've got coming down then for 5 seconds to go. Pretty pointless then that there. Matt McIntyre comes back out onto the track. That is it. The end of qualifying then. As we look at Cole Diva, he's currently 22nd at the moment. There's his teammate Seth Cole just up ahead. Cole Diva does not improve. Christian Martin doesn't improve. I don't think all of these other drivers have improved. I don't think so. Still looking at Richard Johnson. He is 41st. I think Joshua Collard, I think they'll just have this lap in. Can he improve on a 29.478 for the British driver? Can he cross the line? Does he improve? Oh, he already must cross the line when it actually happened. So I presume all 42 drivers then have crossed the line. So we'll stop at about 14 seconds. So here is confirmation then, and it will be Michael Norman that will start on the pole position, and he will punch his way into the All-Star race that will happen after the 10th round of the championship. I forgot to mention that as well, that whoever starts on the pole and wins the race will drive their way in to the All-Star race. The people that don't, well, you're just going to have to compete in the Open, where there'll be some qualifying spots open at all. But there you go, confirmation. And Michael Norman starts in the pole, and he will be in the All-Star race, and he'll be alongside Anthony McCurdy. Christian Martin, 2nd in the championship. He will start in 3rd. Then you've got Stefan Papiez in 4th. Cody Lammers continuing the good qualifying for the Andy Petrie team in 5th. Nathan Hudson at 6th. Dylan Poteet Trek-Torga, after the accident that we saw live, actually, will start in 8th place. Chris Summers, the unlucky Chris Summers, he will start 9th, hoping to have a better race and hopefully to kickstart his championship. Trent Dunham, he's 10th in the championship, and he starts 10th here tomorrow. Daniel Voiles in 11th. Nathan Ormond, who finished runner-up in the Daytona 500, he will start alongside Daniel. You've got James Qualls and Nick Gunther sharing row 7. Matt McIntyre will start 15th, and alongside him will be Brandon Tedesco. Sama Oskin, I think that might be his best qualifying so far, and he'll be alongside the only female driver in the grid, Jessica Shelton. Jeremy Tackles, Noah Cars, who finished 2nd a week ago, he will start 20th. Nico Ketchum starts 21st. Cole Diva will start 22nd. Stephen Colland and Jesse Turner will make row 12. Jamie Smith, Noah Hart, row 13. Diego Ospina and Cal Matthews on row 14. Row 15 will have Seth Cole and the championship leader, Danny Wells. Brandon Ross and RJ Bishop will be on row 16, an old Chevrolet affair. Then you've got Carson Gum and Sandfer on 33rd and 34th respectively. Ry Hayden, Zachary Fitzwater, Wes McCall, Matt McLean, Joshua Collard, Dylan Young, who's also in the top 10. Not a good qualifying for him. And on the last row, Richard Johnson and the Vegas winner, Levi McIntyre. So there you have it. Congratulations then to Michael Norman, continuing his good form, what he did at Las Vegas, picking up, where did he finish there? He picked up a 7th place. So hopefully that good form will continue for him. And like I says, he's punched his way into the All-Star race that will happen in many weeks' time. So can he convert the pole into a victory? You know, you're just going to have to find out until tomorrow. So till then, we'll see you then for the race tomorrow.